Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I just read The Lords of Silence by Wraight, and it's a disgustingly good character study of the Dead Guard, because that is what this book is. The book does not conform to any conventional story structures, and instead presents a myriad of story fragments from various places, perspectives, and points in time. The only thing that ties them all together are the Lords of Silence, which is a Dead Guard warband that is more or less followed throughout the novel. There's too much in this novel for me to give a proper synopsis, but it basically explores all things Dead Guard, with the fall of Cadia and the subsequent crusade as central elements. There's also a cool word-bearer warband that makes an appearance. The best thing about this novel is that it paints a very vivid, and yes, also very gross, image of the Dead Guard. You get to see a bit of everything, from the Plague Planet itself to life on a semi-organic spaceship, and from Dead Guard warfare to Dead Guard politics. The writing can be very descriptive at times, but Wraight does a good job of always making sure to paint the scene without becoming too repetitive in my opinion. The great diversity of the characters is another big plus of this novel. There are a lot of characters in this novel, but all of them are interesting or unique. Because we get to see certain events from so many different perspectives, you get a good idea of what beliefs and motivations are present in the Dead Guard. It's especially interesting to learn about the tension between the original Plague Marines and the most recent converts, as the newer Marines of course view things differently than those that have been there all the way since the Siege of Terra. Another thing which I really liked is the politics of the Chaos Marines, both within their own warband and with other warbands. Almost every important character within Chaos has one or more schemes going on, and seeing some of them playing all kinds of 4D chess was very entertaining. It should also be noted that while there are some combat scenes in the book, these serve mainly to show how the Dead Guard operate in combat. The plot itself is much more centered around these politics between all the different characters. The only real downside of this book is that you need to be familiar with the lore of the setting to understand what's going on. So if you're new to the setting and you're looking for a good first read, then this definitely isn't it. Even for those more familiar with the setting, I expect that your reading experience will still be quite dependent on how much you know about the recent events and the lore of the Dead Guard. This information will greatly help you to understand what, and more importantly when, things are happening. That's because the timeline of this novel is all over the place. Especially during the first half of the novel, you will be wondering how the story fragments fit together. Knowing about the fall of Cadia and the subsequent Noctis Aeterna will help you put things into place. You will probably still be confused about the beginning of the book, but it will all make sense once you've reached the end of the novel. Finally, I'd like to highlight the story arc of Captain Dantine, which is particularly fucked up. I won't spoil what happens to him, but once you've read the book you'll understand why this arc earns the book another bonus point. All in all, I'm giving The Lords of Silence 5 of the 5 Little Lords, with a side note that your enjoyment of the novel is somewhat dependent on your prior knowledge. The novel is an excellent deep dive into the Dead Guard lifestyle, beliefs and politics. It has cool characters, and regardless of the unconventional story structure, the plot was still pretty interesting. This is definitely a must read for all Dead Guard fans and all Chaos fans. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Have a nice day, and don't forget your daily prayer to the ruinous powers.
If you liked this video, please consider subscribing and click ringing the bell to appease the Great Horned Rat. For more lore content, please check my main channel and leave any book recommendations in the comments down below. I gotta get back to reading the next book.